ordered this t-shirt a few weeks ago, and the fade on it was very underwhelming. I've decided to take matters into my own hands. I left it out in the sun for, it's probably been like a week now. We're about to see what's going on. All right, so here it is. Little single stitch. Graphics pretty sick. It's got the all sports tag. Wait, what was that? Summer is officially here, and no wardrobe is complete without some good t-shirts. So I'm gonna show you a few of my favorites. These can be a little played out, but I think this one's pretty cool. This is a Harley Davidson shirt with that nice like flame wheel Harley hit on the front, and then on the back is just the classic logo, but it's from Ukraine, so all the words are in Ukrainian. What I like the best about this tee is how thin it is and how well it fits. There's really nice like bleach staining on the front. It's just really lightweight and good for the hotter weather. You flip it inside out, the graphic shows through really well on the back, so it's a little more subtle way to wear it. So it's really versatile, fits well. Definitely in my top 5. Next shirt is probably the biggest shirt that I have. I got this from Unsound Rags a few years ago, and it's a 2XL beefy tee. It is single stitched, and it has a very beautiful fade as well as this Indian graphic on the front. I almost wear this shirt exclusively inside out because of the way the graphic has worn through the shirt. It has this crazy texture where it's been so worn down that like between the pieces of graphic there are holes. I like the way a big t-shirt fits with shorter shorts, and then wearing short socks with like big trainers. It's this interesting proportion that makes your legs look long. I think it's something cool to play with this summer, especially with longer shorts now coming in. I think short socks are a good way to experiment with making your legs look longer. But yeah, beautiful fade, very well worn. The next shirt I have you may have seen before, but you might not know it. This is the top part of the strength denim set, and if you notice, the graphics have faded significantly. This is a single stitch t-shirt with a really nice fade on it. And what's interesting about this one is the undertone is green, so it's faded to this like super dark green color. And then it just has holes all over the front from where weights have like scraped down the front of the shirt, because I wear this to the gym all the time. I also altered this shirt to fit much more boxy. It used to be really long, and I shortened it probably a good 3 or 4 inches. The outfit that I have on is actually something I wore to the gym the other day, and I thought was really cool because of all of the different graphics like layered everywhere. I like having shirts of different lengths so that you can play around with them in different ways. I think that's the key to versatile t-shirts, is just having different fitting ones. If you follow me on TikTok, you might have seen this one. This is the infamous liquor store tee. I got this from a liquor store in my college town when I turned 21. But my little brother happened to borrow it right after I got it, and he had it for probably 6 months. And I don't know what he did during that time, but he got like paint splatters all over it, and it got super soft, and it actually fits really well. So when I saw it, I had to take it back from him. This has become one of my favorites for sure. It has a really nice like light gray color, a little bit lighter than what I usually wear, but I think it looks nice, especially with the paint splatters. And it just has a lot of character. I don't know, I just enjoy like having something that's tied to like places that I've been. Not much more to say about this one, but it gets a lot of wear. This is the final t-shirt. This is definitely the best graphic that I made for the first brand that I ever did. So I've kept like a couple of these, but this is the only one I really wear anymore. I printed it on this shirt that used to be my dad's actually. It's this beautiful like gray blue color with really crazy wear all over it. 2 years ago, I definitely would have said this is my favorite shirt. I used to wear it all the time. As you can see, it's like really falling apart. The shoulders are splitting, the hems are splitting, but yeah, it just has really nice wear, really nice fade, and just like that cool connection. Whenever I go back to wearing more colors, this is a color that I gravitate toward, so I always keep this around, and it's one of those that I really probably would never get rid of. I mentioned earlier how having different length shirts is really important, so you can play around with different proportions. So I'm going to show you how to hem your shirts real quick. It's really simple process. If you're like me, you probably have a couple shirts laying around that are just too long and you'll never wear them. But if you take a couple inches off, who knows, they might be one of your favorites. So I'm just gonna run you through that real quick. Yeah. I grabbed one of these t-shirts from my closet sale, and I'm just gonna measure the length down the front. And now what you do is you fold up the hem to the length that you want, So usually I do like 22 inches as my preferred measurement, but I did 20 today for some reason. I don't know, I was feeling kind of crazy. And also, I don't know why this is another witch shirt, but like it's very much a coincidence. Anyway, so once you get that folded up to the length you want, you're going to pin it, and then you pin it all the way around. And the trick that I use for this is I measure the length of the fold rather than like how long the whole hem is supposed to be, if that makes sense. So then you can just like go around, and mine was like a little bit under 3 inches, so it's way easier to do than like measuring from the top, especially when you get to the back because the measurement would be different. But that's what it looks like when it's pinned all the way around. And now it's time to set up that sewing machine. So I'm using this black polyester thread because it matches, but you can actually just use whatever color thread you want because you're going to fold it inside out. But I would recommend, if you have the color, to match, because why not? And then you're going to start like under the armpit, or not actually under the armpit, but like below the armpit. There's just a little back and forth at the beginning, and it can potentially look slightly messy. But once you get that done, you're just going to sew like all the way, almost right on the original hem, and you just go all the way around. Obviously, take the pins out as you go, and make sure you put them back in that pin cushion so they don't float around. And just go slow if you need to, and try and get it as close as you possibly can without actually hitting it. But then you're going to cut it off, and you end up with this piece of folded over fabric at the bottom. And so you're going to have to take scissors and go in and cut that whole thing off. And once you do that, you're just going to turn the hem over. And it can take a little bit to flatten this out. I usually just like use the scissors to flatten it. But if you need to, you can use a steamer or an iron. This one was a little tougher, so I actually did end up steaming it. But this is what it looks like when it came out. Like I said, a little bit shorter than I would normally do. But I think maybe like adding an inch to this would be something that I might be interested in making for myself at some point. But yeah, anyway, this is still on my closet sale. I updated it, and there's a bunch of other stuff there too, so go check that out.